Welcome to CITAM Church Online. This is Pastor Karita Mbagara, the Deputy Bishop of Christ is the Answer Ministries. Today, I want us to consider the story that is narrated in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15. It's the story of Saul, the king, the first king of Israel, when he was sent by God through a message that was given him by Samuel to go and destroy the Amalekites. The instructions were, destroy all the Amalekites and all their animals. When Saul went to battle, we are told that he came back with the king of the Amalekites, and he also came with the fattened animals that he had taken from the Amalekites. And Samuel went to meet him and asked him, why is it that you have brought these animals and you have brought their king back with you while the instructions were clear? And one of the answers that Saul gave to Samuel was to say, it is because I want to use the animals to sacrifice to the Lord. And I just want to point out here that God, through Samuel, told him that it is better to obey God than to sacrifice. And what I hear here from this passage or from those words is that God is communicating that when we choose to do things that appear to be good, because there is nothing wrong with sacrificing. There is nothing wrong in worshiping God. But when you substitute that to the obedience of God, what you are saying is that your means to reaching to God has taken a higher priority over the ends of pleasing God. And God will not be pleased, and God will not be happy. Because for him, the ends are more important than the means you use. Well, both are important to him. You must do it according to what he wants. And sometimes, because worship is what we relate with, what is closest to us, we may think this is what is pleasing to God. But God says, no, what is most important is obedience. For that reason, we know that Saul was rebuked, and not just rebuked, he was told that God has rejected you, and from that day on, his kingdom started going down. Actually, when we read in verse 23, the Bible says, and this is Samuel speaking to Saul, the Bible says, for rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. You see, when we choose to go our own way or to do things our own way, then our sin is the sin of self-worship. We have placed ourselves in a place where we think we are wiser than God, we can give counsel to God, and that's exactly what Saul had done. God had said, destroy everything. Saul had said, no, God, I have a better idea, let me take this to worship you. But that was not acceptable to God. And I want to pray for myself. I want to also urge you, my listener, that if you are in that situation where God has told you to do something and you are taking an alternative route that seems even to be very godly, to be very acceptable in the Christian circles or in the circles of people who seek the face of the Lord, but it is against what God has said, you better recant your ways and change what you had decided to do so that you may be pleasing to God. And God will bless you as opposed to rejecting you when you go your own way. So be saved from the sin of self-worship where you think you are wiser than God. Let me hear what you think about this by you writing on the platforms that are listed below. And if you think it is a blessing to you, please pass it on by sharing in your platform and letting your friends get to know what we are saying here. Thank you very much.